All right, guys, welcome back to the Forever Broken podcast, where we're going to dive into the world of mental health and ask questions like, why the fuck is the audio not working for me, but it does for Gabe? And better questions like, how can we fix your life? And by doing so, make ours just a little bit better. So, that being said, today we're going to be talking about some things that are utterly important to us, which is having a good friend group around yourself. And doing so, I would like to introduce the co-host of the show, first and foremost, the big man from Oklahoma.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So we were talking about the importance of having a group of, friends, or kind of like a support group, but without all the kumbaya shit, unless you're into that, I guess. But it's kind of why we started the Facebook page initially, was just a place for people to get on there sharing memes and jokes and stupid-ass stories and what have you. But speaking of which, that's what we need, is for you guys to be more involved and just post as much as you can on there. But
yeah, be active.
We've had a few people reach out to us and message us when they're having issues, and that's the side that the public doesn't see. But it's really important for the whole movement here, is to actually use it. You know what I mean? Like, what do you guys think about that?
Well, I think we should probably introduce Gabe as well, since you just said F him.
Yeah, dude, it's cool. I'm just like, kind of just here I'm in the fray. I'm just in the fray.
Yeah.
I was actually on our Facebook page doing some liking and commenting, so I missed my cue.
Yeah, that's fine. And then we also have to be able to English. I can't do that today, apparently. We got to plug the Twitter that I don't really know how to use. InstaFace or Instagram, whatever you want to call it. TJ and Gabe, they'll be able to post photos and everything on there too. Like I said, I think we're going to try to get pictures of us doing the podcast and what have you. Get that stuff up on there. The merchandise that is being pimped right now by our very own Gabe. We'll get that up there too, but once that becomes publicly available, we'll get it out to you guys and show you what's up, what's to come. But yeah, like TJ had said, this whole having a group is just so important to us, because that's what we got when we were in the military together, and then we all got out, and it was kind of just like, oh man, I gotta find something. I gotta find somewhere that I can still have this. And you go with that, and then you start a new job, and it's like, you guys are jerk-offs.
I think the hard part in that, Derek, too, is that in the military, because of the type of job that it is and the type of life that you are living while in the military, it makes it hard to find that same camaraderie. I'm going to slap the shit out of you, TJ, I swear to God. It makes it hard to find that same camaraderie.
Yeah, that's a drink.
On the same level as like when you're in the military. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, I had a real fucking thought, but somebody decided to fucking toke one out while I was in the middle of it. It's cool.
Yeah,
though.
And with that, though, if you're playing the drinking game that we haven't officially gotten started yet, Gabe did just slap, or say he was going to slap the shit out of somebody, so that's a drink. I actually think when I was making this up, I think I said that was finish your drink, but I can't do that right now. It's a brand new drink, and I need to be able to function for this podcast.
We're gonna pace ourselves.
Yeah, I gotta be real.
I'm glad I got designated the sober one for the podcast. Like,
Well, you're kind of the sober one in life, so I'm proud of you for it. You're doing good.
Had to make some life changes, boys. I'm getting old.
Yeah, I can't do that. If I make life changes, everyone's going to pay for it.
Especially your friend group, and as I've been deemed part of that friend group, I appreciate the fact that you recognize your weaknesses and you're not willing to put us through that. So I appreciate and applaud and thank you for taking care of us emotionally.
Yeah, I try to lead by example, which is something that, bro, I think that's seriously one of my favorite sound clips, and I hope everyone enjoys it as much as I do. That oh god, the Chipmunk Life just gets me every freaking time. You know what I mean?
Anything Chipmunk is pretty solid in my book.
Yeah, it really is. TJ has been, it's funny because me and Gabe actually were at the same unit, so just to kind of like explain this to everyone. Me and Gabe were at the same mouths together in the Marine Corps. TJ, we didn't meet until we went to Afghanistan, actually. And just to kind of like explain a little bit as to how like the military worked for us, we just got to meet a whole new group of people every time we deployed, or we went on a detachment, or we went somewhere new and worked at new places. We didn't like end up being at the same place with him, so we didn't spend 4 years together like me and Gabe did. We only spent like 6 months with TJ, but he just fit in so well. We all got along so well. This is where it's come back to, and we ended up hitting it off. And again, that group, we hit it off. We have this group now, and we're doing this, where we're getting to make a change in other people's lives and help them find that, which I just think is awesome. So it doesn't always have to be a matter of, oh God, I knew them for 26 years or whatever, It's just, hey, we picked up on it. We understand each other, and we laugh. We all have the same dark sense of humor because we're, traumatized, and we go with it.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. I went to, here in I think it's 2018, I went to a school in Wisconsin, and I was only there for 2 months, and there's still a couple of guys from that school that I talk to all the time. And like I said, I didn't know them before, and hell, I haven't seen them since, but we still talk all the time.
Yeah, it helps, and I think that's something that everyone needs. God, Brandon, who was on last week, if you haven't listened to that episode, definitely get on there and listen to that episode. I thought it was incredible, other than obvious audio errors, but it was incredible. He had just messaged me here, 2-3 hours ago, and he's like, man, do you follow the local newspaper or whatever from Nebraska, where we're from? I was like, nah, man, I don't follow it. He goes, everyone in our age group's dying. And I was like, that kind of makes sense. Drugs do that to a guy. Drugs are bad, okay?
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, they're bad, okay?
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, drugs and suicide. And, the dark part of me was like, God, make a joke about the suicide thing. And I was like, all right, no, I probably shouldn't do that. I'm hosting a mental health podcast, kind of. Maybe I don't make fun of the suicide stuff. But it seems like it's gotten super relevant, especially in our age group. I don't know if it was something caused by, how we were raised, if we were just not taught how to deal with things. Because, when you look at, boomers, as they supposedly call them, these guys don't kill themselves. They do, but not nearly the same rate that we are in our age. And I was just like, man, maybe we really are pussies. I can't judge anyone. But
I think it's all the gluttons.
Oh,
yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
I've got a gluten intolerance.
Here's my take on that, dude. Like, remember when we were younger, like elementary, junior high, and like something would happen, or your mom made a specific dinner, or like anything that was generally something that you didn't want or didn't agree with. It wasn't stupid. It wasn't bad. It was, oh man, that's gay. I don't want to do that. Remember? Everything.
Yeah, you can't say that.
Everything was gay. You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah, you can't say that.
you can't. But I mean, like, I think with like society and the way things change, and like how everything has become offensive, or you can't make a joke about it because it could hurt somebody's feelings. Like, I get all that and I understand all that, but I mean, like, I think that plays a part in why the rise of mental health has gone up too, dude. Like, there's so much you have to be careful with that it's strenuous to keep up with it. You know what I mean? Like shit, dude. You go to a grocery store and you can't tell if the person checking you out is male, female, or if they identify male or female, and you're just kind of like, thanks, person. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I get in so much trouble with that shit too.
And I mean, like, but like, and like on top of that, it's like it's not something that is a normal in a lot of places. So like, you actually see it, and you're just kind of looking to like verify for 10 to 15 minutes that you really are looking at what you're looking at, and then you're the asshole for looking. You know what I mean? Like, understand that. Like, if I walked outside wearing my daughter's fucking dance recital tutu, like, if people weren't staring at me like, what the fuck is this dude doing? Like, I would question their sensibility. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck do you watch, like, on the daily basis that made this normal for you to see?
At the same time, if I saw you walk out of a class wearing a tutu, there's a very good chance I wouldn't question a thing.
But you know me.
Because I know you.
But you know me, and you know that there's a reason why I have it on. But
yeah, I'd just be like,
somebody that lives across the
fucking
like somebody lives across the street from me, I walk outside to mow my lawn in a fucking tutu, he's gonna be like, this one's weird, and I'm gonna watch this to see how it plays out. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
we had a certain staff sergeant who thought it was mighty odd whenever someone threw on the Daisy Dukes.
I wonder who that was.
Yeah. He wasn't a fan. I don't think it helped the fact that he was FaceTiming.
Because he didn't have any styles. His
old lady at the time. It actually wasn't that one.
I'm sorry. Oh, man, you just name dropped the most incognito way I've ever heard in my life. I'm impressed with it.
Thank you.
I can't be mad about that at all. But yeah, you're right. I mean, we live it's such a weird time right now where like everything is so sensitive in America, especially because I mean, I feel like I don't see that, but I don't live other places, so I don't fucking know. Like, I would think it's probably less prevalent in other places. Like, I don't think in communist China, it's a super common thing.
But I mean, so like, hear me out real quick. Like, do I give a fuck that a dude wants to dress like a girl and be called Susan? No. But if I saw a unicorn trotting down the fucking road, I'm going to slam on my brakes to fucking look at it because it's fucking unusual for me to see a unicorn running down the fucking road. All right? Like, I'm not being a dick.
That's for another podcast.
Dude, I'm not being an asshole about it. I'm just saying, like, it's an unusual sight, and I'm going to fucking take it in. That's all I'm saying.
No, I meant unicorns are for another podcast. That's the cryptid podcast we're going to be doing. We'll talk about those on there when we get there. I haven't gotten the unicorns reading yet, but
so
I've gotten
what you're saying is
stuff.
I'm the master of foreshadowing podcasts and incognito name dropping.
Yes, and hopefully everyone listening right now is like, oh my God, they're going to do a cryptid podcast. Yes.
Yeah.
And if you're not, well, get excited anyway because I'm going to do it anyway. So piss off.
That one hurt a little.
Yeah, I can relate to that too. I've spent the last freaking week coughing to the point where I actually ripped underneath my tongue because I was coughing so hard.
Dude,
was that just a cryptid behind you? I just saw something fluffy Just kind of
Behind me?
middle of your door. Yeah, middle of your door.
There's no
Just kind
door.
of peeked over. Uh-oh.
Dude,
This isn't good.
where? Point to it on the screen. Point on the doll where they touched you.
What good's this gonna do me?
Show me on the
You don't
doll
know
where they
where I'm
touched you,
pointing.
dude. Come on.
Well, now I'm gonna have to. It's right here.
So tell me when to stop. Right there.
There.
Right there. That was a dog.
higher.
That was a dog.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I saw something fluffy, but I didn't see a shape distinguishable. I was confused. I was scared. I got scared for a minute.
It was a
I know
puppy,
your relationship.
and he nose
was
nudged
a
me,
terrible-
and it made me jump, and you saw him jump too.
Oh, that makes sense. Hey, I'm not here to judge. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, when you see some shit that like you're not used to seeing, of course we look. But we live in a time you're not allowed to look. Apparently, you just got to just sit there, shut up, mind your business. TJ's gone all of a sudden. What do you do?
We're not allowed to look, so he moved out of the screen.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's
It's kind of funny because
trying some new
on
things
my,
on in life.
on my screen, it looks like his arm is your arm now.
We did that on purpose. We've been choreographing this all day.
No, you haven't. I'm the only one that's talked to him on the app today.
That's what you think.
Cheater.
You son of a
See how it
bitch.
is.
Oh, dude, I
Yep,
just
see how it is now.
never mind. I'm not even gonna go into this. I'm not.
Well, you could, but yeah, we should go there.
No,
yeah, I get
no.
what you're saying. It's just like with this whole thing, it's just crazy that we live in the times we live in, and we're all trying to navigate like this new series of weird crap, where it's like, and what I was trying to get at here earlier when you brought it up, I was just like, I've gotten stuck in this situation now, and I don't know how to respond to people because I go, like, my common thing is being like, hey man, what's up? Or, hey dude, like, because 90s, 80s, 90s kids. Yeah, that's what it's like, hey man, what up? Hey bro. And then when I'm put in a situation where I don't know what to call you, it takes me about 40 minutes worth of going, hey,
But that's the thing. Like, it makes it even more awkward when you can't just be like, "Hey, guy," and they're like, "Oh, actually, it's Susan." You'd be like, "Oh, hey, Susan." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, a lot of these apps too.
I think a lot of it too
they
is
put their
there's-
acronyms.
you got a what?
A lot of these apps that I've been on now, they put their like pronouns on it, and it says it'll like say they them, and I'm like, hey they, and I'm like, wait, that doesn't even sound. How the fuck am I supposed to use they them when I'm talking to you? They them is plural. You ass.
I don't think "ass" is part of the pronoun category, bro. Good try though.
Well, it should be. It is now.
Call them y'all.
Oh, I call everyone y'all, yeah. And then then my wife makes fun of me because you're not from Texas. And I shut up. I can be if I want to. Everyone I talk to is redneck. I'm a redneck too now.
Yeah, dude. I'm not from I'm not from a lot of places, but I still use sayings from those places.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I told her. I said I picked up a lot of accent just because everyone I hung out with was from somewhere else.
I mean,
I didn't pick up Boston. The one guy that we had from Boston hated him.
What was his name? Don't say it
I
out
can't
loud.
remember. He's a ginger-headed ass, though.
He's the one that kicked the blocks into your head, huh?
Yeah, and he was the one.
Oh, I remember his name.
threw-
I remember his name. Hold on. Stand by. I'm going to send it.
No.
I'll send it.
But he was the one that threw his meds out of the 7-ton, so he had to get sent back to the United States
Because he's a pussy.
because they couldn't get him his meds in time. And then I'm like, how are you going to... Yep, that's it. How are you going to sit there and tell me how I'm such an ass and then throw your meds out of a 7-ton?
He didn't throw him out of the
So you
7-ton,
get
dude. He
home.
dumped him down the fucking toilet. He dumped him into
I
the.
know. I got told he threw him out of the 7 ton.
No, he went out to the fucking porta shitter and dumped him in the porta shitter.
Yeah, somebody should have gotten him out for him. And then he could have had a shit sandwich like he deserved.
He'd had a shitload of pills if they would have pulled him out then.
Oh, hold
Killing
on.
it.
I think we've got a sound for that, actually.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me do it real quick. Stand by. He would have had a shitload of pills then.
Yeah, well, that's what the crap. You did it
I was
too
not
early.
playing.
Yeah, I heard it.
Oh, I didn't play for me.
I bet we're gonna have a crap load of like audio just playing because neither of us know how to do this. It's just gonna play in the background.
We're professionals, everybody. Just keep subscribing and leaving reviews. We are
Yeah,
professionals.
please. Yeah, I mean, if you feel so inclined that you have to leave a 1-star, fuck you.
Or don't. Or don't.
I don't have time for your shit.
Or don't.
Yeah, just don't. A 5-star, that's what we need. So, anyways,
But so basically, what I'm getting at, dude, is like society's kind of fucked up, and it's kind of fucked up for people that are our generation that grew up making light of people's life choices and their preferences. Like I said, you know, like, oh, we're having spaghetti again tonight? That's gay. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that it was necessarily like knocking on the gay community. It was more or less just a saying that we used in a time when like saying that it was gay it meant like it wasn't like your favorite thing in the world. Or like your buddy decided to take off on his bicycle really fast towards the monkey bars, and then when he got to the monkey bars, grab him and let his bike go, and the momentum dropped him on his back and he knocked it like the air out of him. And instead of being like, oh shit, dude, you cool? You walked up, you're like, ha, you're retarded. And like, you weren't making fun of the mentally handicapped community. You're just saying that he did a really stupid thing. You know what I mean? And it wasn't,
you were
it wasn't
saying
made to
he
be
did
like
something
offensive to that group.
No, and it's funny that you bring up retard. My wife hates it when I use it. I mean, it really does, and I try to be a little bit more sensitive about it. But, and it's something, again, another podcast I listen to, he talks about, he goes, what pisses me off is that we use these terms, right? And it's like, at one point, all of these terms that we have relegated as being negative now or offensive used to be actual scientific terms.
Right.
You know, and like, we used to say you're, retarded in a scientific way, and then we get a hold of it, we use it in a negative manner, and then it gets thrown out the window. So the problem that we have now is that all these terms that we've deemed offensive, we're just going to find a new word to be offensive. You know, like the new term will be mentally handicapped. So if I say, you're mentally handicapped, I don't mean it saying that I'm making fun of the mentally handicapped community. I'm just saying, like you said, man, like, you're just being slow. You're being
right. And like the process that you just explained, though, has already happened between like our grandparents, our parents, and then us. Like, I can recall a time, like, stories that, like, I grew up, my parents were older, so like my parents would have been the age of your guys' grandparents. And like when they went to school with kids that were mentally challenged, they weren't called retarded and they weren't called mentally handicapped. They were referred to as touched. Oh, that person's touched. And like their kids grew up making fun of their friends for doing dumb things, being like, you're touched or you're special. You know what I mean? Like, and then it became scientific to call them like it's a mental retardation. And then we grew up using the term, "Oh, dude, you're mentally retarded." Like, why would you do that? Like, you know, the fence is electric. Why would you pee on it, you fucking retard? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, speaking of being touched, it looks like TJ's been touched.
I can see that.
I don't mean that he's retarded. I just mean it looks like he's been touched.
Show
like,
us on the
physically.
doll where they touched you, TJ.
Do you have a doll?
No.
Show us on your dog where you touched him.
Show us on your dog where they touched you.
Come here, Goose.
So, real quick there, bud. Is that a Hawaiian shirt you're rocking right there?
It is.
Yeah, it is, man. So that's what Derek was asking me earlier, and I was like, I'm just wish that this was the kind of weather I was actually in.
Dude, you need puka shells. Like, you need to wear it into existence.
It's fucking colder than a set of Eskimo nuts right now, and I don't appreciate it.
I just, I want to, completely appreciate what you have going on right now. You are literally rocking a rolled-up beanie like you are a fucking fisherman on a fucking wharf in Alaska.
So to explain,
Goddamn Carhartt coat and a fucking Hawaiian t-shirt.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
You're
help.
touched, dude. You are touched.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to help listeners here. He's got his beanie worn like Robin Hood, a Robin Hood hat right now, without the feather, even though he probably should have one. And then the Hawaiian shirt, he's like Hawaii 5-0 kind of thing, with a Carhartt
Button up
over
the top
it.
7 buttons. He clipped the bottom 2.
So
He's
like
rocking
you can
it.
see his hair sticking out of the top, like the tuft of hair, and he's just got a shit-eating grin on his face, even though there's nothing fun about eating shit.
I just want to take a moment to appreciate the fact that you used the word tuft.
Right?
Congrats on
I
that.
can't button them all because my neck's too fucking
That's
fat.
5 points for you.
I like a fat neck. I got a fat neck.
Dude, it's not having a fat neck. It just means you have a grizzly neck.
It's just very convenient for my weigh-ins.
Yeah,
you wear
but
Hawaiian
you can
shirts
just
to drill?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's Army standards for you.
Motherfucker.
Air Force standards? I don't know where you work.
No, dude, his are you in the Oklahoma National Guard, dude?
Yeah.
I was just gonna tell you to nod yes or no, but since you want to go ahead and throw it out there for the world, it's cool.
You asked it, dipshit.
I was gonna
Since
say
you want
nod.
You gotta hold up a
Since
note
you
or
won't
something.
speak, I guess. Yeah.
Because I'm just sitting here with my fucking flashcards prepared to fucking coach you through this, dude.
We do. We have our flashcards. They're ready. Yep. That's why we're completely off topic right now. And I don't even remember what the hell we were talking about at this point. Something, oh yeah. Our
Having a good
generation's
friend
full of
group to
pussies.
talk
That's what it
about,
is.
and
But yeah, what we were talking about just last was that our generation's really awkward and it's fucked. I think is what we were getting at. And that being said, that's led to a lot of, mental health issues, which sucks. And it's just, there's a huge incline in the numbers, and I don't know how we address that. And I thought you were going somewhere else when you said when your mom made dinner and you didn't like it. And this is fun for me because it's something my mom used to do. She'd be like, if you don't like what I made you for dinner, make your own. And I took that personal. So I did make my own dinner. And then I started making everyone dinner. And now I'm a housewife.
so funny story. I was never given the option to make my own dinner. In fact, I, until recently, have never been able to touch my mother's stove or oven. And I was never allowed to touch her washing machine or her dryer.
That'd be all right with that.
I mean, I'm not bitching. I'm not. I think I did my first load of laundry for myself when I was in the Marine Corps.
That's a common thing, I think, actually. Super common.
Yeah, but then, until recently, after, getting divorced and all that, dude, I never had to. My mom always did it, or my wife always did it. And then the only time I had to do it was when I was going through all the schools for MOS school. And, I had fucking 2 pairs of civvies that I'd fucking roll around in, and camis. So I just threw it all in one load, dumped a shitload of soap, fucking called it a day. Like,
To be fair, that's how I still do laundry.
I didn't say it's not how I not do it now. I'm just saying, like, the first time I tried that shit when at the time my wife asked me to do the laundry, and in my mind I was like, cool, laundry goes in the hole, soap goes in the hole, turn it on and go on with my day. I wasn't aware that there was like darks and lights and then like delicates and shit like that. Like, it's a science, and I'm not educated.
Well, and see, that's why I
it.
do my laundry like I like my society. I throw the darks, the lights, and everything into a big group, and they just get along. And I've never had a problem. I don't get shrunken laundry. The laundry doesn't bleed into each other. That's how society should be right now, is that, just because we put darks and lights together doesn't mean they should bleed into each other.
So you're saying
They
that you're
should
an
just get
equal
along and
opportunity
be happy.
laundryist?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I think that's a fair statement. And you're dang right. I just made that a reference. The United States is the washing machine of the world, where you just throw everything in at the same time. You put 2 Tide Pods in that son of a bitch, and you go with it.
I'm going to go...
And then when you dry it in Afghanistan, it comes out a little bit shrunk and probably fucked up, but what do?
I'm going to go with the United States is more like a dryer, because you throw it all in there after you've tried to, like, wash it and cleanse it and keep it clean. And some of it comes out fucking full of static and zapping the fuck out of you and angry. And then some of it comes out a little bit smaller than it went in. And then sometimes some of it comes out and you're missing the fucking second pair, like the second sock that goes with your pair of socks. Like, that's what I'm
saying. That's why I think the Middle East is the dryer, because we wash it, we make it better, could send it over to the Middle East, and then everything gets fucked up over there, where, you end up missing your sock or your private, and you gotta deal with it. And everyone else comes back and they're like,
though?
most of the time. Not after. We can't fix it after it's already been ruined.
I mean, I'm just saying, dude, like, it's subjective
I'm just saying,
and it's opinion.
I'm just saying it was a good analogy until you ruined it, asshole.
It's what I'm good at.
TJ, pick a side.
I'm just stuck on the laundry thing still. So you put your lights and your darks together, right? So they launder well. But
wait, are we still talking about an analogy, or are we talking
say,
real
dude,
now?
like, I'm not sure you can say you put your lights and darks together the way that you just said it. Say it less hillbilly, dude. That was really wrong.
anyways, let's just skip over that and go back to the cryptos we're talking about trying to find
Let's
here.
go back to
So like we talking about fucking doggy coins, or are we talking like the fucking
God,
Jersey Devil or whatever the fuck it is?
I don't think the Jersey Devil matters, because the Jersey Devil is basically a child's drawing where they're like, it's got a horse's head, it's got wings like an owl, and then it's got goat legs and a tail that would look something like the devil's.
Yeah, but wouldn't
And
that be
the
creepy as shit if you
drawings
saw
don't
something
make
like
any
that?
sense. Yeah, it'd be terrible, but it just doesn't make sense.
What are we talking about? I'm lost.
The
dude.
Jersey Devil. He was talking about cryptids, which we'll be diving into on a new show later.
Oh,
in
you guys are
month.
like foreshadowing like your mystery docuseries.
Yeah, we're foreshadowing. We're foreshadowing hard because it's something that's super fun and super interesting. At least to me, I'm getting books now on it and doing my research. I started researching here some more stuff in depth this past week, because I was like, oh, I'm so excited to do this. And then I was like, oh yeah, I still got to do the mental health pod. And as you can tell, I didn't research that as hard this week. But
Well, I mean, and that too, and this is an impromptu episode because our our regularly scheduled episode had some technical difficulties.
It went absolutely terrible because I was asked out after 2-3 hour sleep days, and then TJ's got the internet that they actually have in mud huts in Taiwan. And they actually probably have better internet than TJ.
Well, I heard
I need to
that.
borrow theirs.
I read an article that there was a power surge and it
In
took out
Oklahoma?
his router, and he needed a new router.
Oh, that makes sense. Way to cover him. That's great.
I got you,
Good
bro.
job. I'm proud of you. This is the group we're talking about right here. You need guys around you that support you and have your back. And to get us back on topic, let's just kind of hone in just for a couple seconds, then we can get off topic, like we're going to do. So, why it's so important to have a group of people around you, like we have. This is what it comes back to right here. I mean, we have each other's back, right? So, when I'm having a bad day, I can't go to somebody. I don't have like the group of friends, having just moved down here to Arizona, that I did anywhere else. Like, they're not readily available friends that I can just sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'll just drive over to his house. Like, I used to just walk over to Gabe's if I was having a crap day, or or I lived with them in a tin hut or a tent. I don't have that, but I do still have the ability to just shoot them a text, and I know whether it's 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. They're going to get back to me. They're going to check in with me and make sure that I'm doing all right. If I have a terrible night, and you guys know this from firsthand experience, because I've had a lot of bad nights, I just call you guys and we just bullshit, and it gets me through it. And it reminds me that, shit's not that terrible. Like, it could be a lot worse. It's a great reminder for me that, God, life's pretty damn good. And it is because of the people I've surrounded myself with. So hopefully, as we go forward, we can reach out and get that to other people. And something that we want to end up doing here is, and the listeners, I guess, will have to let us know either on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever, what we want to do here going forward eventually is get a Patreon set up. You guys pitch us $1 so we can set up and have better recording equipment, yada, yada, yada. We'll give you a shout out, and we'll give you access to a Discord group where it'll be like a live text all the time, where we'll come in, we'll be there the whole time. We'll just talk to you guys, and it's literally like just texting each other. And then we can set up group topics like sports or comedy or movies and television, or hey, we'll have a group in there that says depressed or whatever, reach out and talk to somebody. And we can all just reach out and touch somebody, which was actually my favorite line from the first episode.
Oh my god.
Because I didn't catch it at first. And then I just listened to it again, and I heard TJ say, reach out and touch somebody, and I thought, that doesn't sound right anymore. I don't know what the hell happened. This isn't good. But, we can do that.
I couldn't hold the laugh.
We can have that subsection where it's reach out and touch somebody, and hopefully you guys don't make it too sexual.
Oh, we're getting flagged.
Again.
Good chance.
Reach out,
We'll be
touch
live.
someone.
God, that could have been the name of the podcast, couldn't it?
It still can be. Did you name it?
No, I haven't named shit yet. Yeah, we'll just call it reach out and touch somebody,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
it'll be good.
I don't think a lot of people are going to understand that reference, but it's all right.
They'll figure it out.
That's fair. I know.
Either it goes really well and they understand the comedy of it, or it goes
Really bad.
really bad and they don't understand.
Well, I mean,
the
it's going to
comedy
go
of it,
really
and they're
good.
like, oh, hey, cool.
It's
yeah.
going to go really good.
Or
People
really
are
good.
going to have a good laugh about it, or we're going to be sending emails to Spotify again to let us back on their platform.
Or they'll just not get the overreaching comedy of it, and they'll just be like, oh, yeah, reach out and talk to somebody.
Yeah. These guys
Cool.
are out here living it, bro.
Yeah, they're doing it, man. Good for them. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think it's hugely and immensely important, because I mean, I can really tell, like, I'm telling you guys, I would be in a very, very different place right now if it weren't for having you guys around to just reach out and shoot a message to or call and have a good time. You thought I was going to do it?
Dude, I swear to God, I thought you were going to do it just to be a shithead.
No, I didn't. I wouldn't. Maybe I would. But no, I think it's hugely important to have that group. And that's why I think it's important to have the group, just from first-hand experience. You guys have saved my life on more than one occasion. That means the world to me.
And I mean, like, so, I'm with you on that one too, but I think it is important in that group too to, like, you need to know, like, we know each other really, really well. Does that make sense? Like,
yep.
I know when you're having a bad day and I need to listen to you and be there for you. Like, but I also know when you're being a bitch about your bad day and I'm going to make fun of you and call you on the carpet with your bullshit and be like, hey, I get it. Like, it sucks, but, like, part of this is on you, bro. And you need to fucking handle it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, like,
and that's what I'm
so
saying.
that friend group that you have, you guys, there definitely has to be that understanding to where, like, you are friends and that's your friend group, but at the same time, like, your real friends will never ever be offended or get upset with you for calling them on their shit. And that's a big part of picking your friend group, is you need to have those friends that will be there for you in your hard times, but they'll also let you know that you're making the times harder than they need to be by being a dipshit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. TJ, I don't know. How do you feel about it? Like, what do you think the importance is in having that group?
I mean, I think it's personally that's one of the most important things. That's like the biggest thing that's helped me with anytime I've had issues was, you know, talking to you guys or, you know, like Joe, that we're still working on that episode, but I've been to a bunch of different therapists and everything else, and it's always the same shit. You know what I mean? But the one thing that's helped more than anything else was just having somebody to talk to, somebody that could relate to some of the issues that, you know, that you're having or whatever. That's definitely been the best thing that I've done so far.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, I guess I didn't plan on doing this episode, but I'll just dive into this and kind of explain to everyone my backstory and my, what I've been through, some of the stuff I've gone through, just to kind of help them understand that we are coming from someplace. This is genuinely something important to us and why it's important to us. So to fill you guys in, you guys got my backstory in episode 1. If you haven't, you can go back and listen to it. And that was basically, you know, went to the Marine Corps, right? I deployed twice with you guys to Afghanistan. I got sent out to several different detachments while I was there. And, you know, I can't say, like, I didn't have it worse than anybody else by any means. I saw a lot of the stuff that I think everyone saw over there, you know, with the locals getting shot and people that, you know, getting hurt. And that happens. And then I came back and I was on the fire department here in North Platte for the last 10 years. And that was just death on death on death. And bad thing after bad thing, because you're dealing with people who are having the worst day of their life. And for us, you know, we're sitting there we have to be there for them. And they're not always going to be nice to us just because we're trying to help. But I saw a lot of things, and then, you know, I was trying to figure out my meds. After the getting out, you know, I got diagnosed with PTSD. I've got major depressive issues. I've got major anxiety issues. My wife thinks I'm bipolar, which is totally reasonable because my switch is like that. So I get it. But, you know, even here, gosh, what was that? 2 years ago, I kind of hit my low. And I sat there and I was like, God damn it, I just don't feel anything. And yeah, I was like, so I grabbed my pistol and I was like, fuck, man. Like, I was like, I don't want to kill myself. I just want to see if I feel anything. And I put it to my head and I was like, yep, nope, this is an issue. This is a big fucking problem. I don't feel shit. And then I like called my dad. I was bawling. I was like, I'm a bitch, Dad. And then I ended up checking myself in the hospital, and then ended up getting put into a mental area about 90 miles from where I was from. And it was honestly probably the greatest. It was kind of like deploying. You know, where you deploy and you don't got to worry about anything. Like, you don't got bills to worry about. You don't got shit to do. And I just got to talk with everyone else that was quote-unquote crazy. And, you know, there's a huge stigma for me going into it because I was like, I can't go to a mental place. I can't do it. Like, then people are going to think I'm crazy. They're going to feel this way about me. Like, they're going to take my guns. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. It's going to ruin my life if I do it. But I finally hit a point where I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, it's not going to get any worse than where I'm at right now. And I went. I got put on new meds. This whole thing. I came out of it. And it was actually really weird because I was, like, having such a, like, dopamine high and, like, serotonin high that I was in such a good mood when I left that when I got home, I had this energy crash where I just, like, laid down and I had heart palpitations. And I was like, oh, my God. I don't think I really slept while I was there. I was a little bit jealous. There was a guy in a room with me, and that's all he did was sleep. And I was like, man, what fucking meds they give that asshole? Because I could really use those fucking things. That's cool. He did. He slept the entire time. He would wake up, come out, eat, go back to bed, and I was like, damn, I need those. My ass was out there. The nurses had their fun. I sat there. I was like, hey, y'all got like a random book? I think I started reading Dr. John's Bathroom Reader just for random facts. And then she sits there and they put me on these new meds so I can get some sleep. And she's like, you tired yet? And I said, no, I'm good. How are you? And she's like, good. Do you need anything else? Like, so she brings me another set of meds to go to sleep. And still sitting there just reading my book. It's like 2 a.m. I said, well, yeah, I'm good. She goes, let's try this. Gives me another med for sleeping. Still reading my book. I go, hey, it's all right. I guess I'll go try to lay down, get some sleep. It's like 4 a.m. at that point. 6 a.m. rolls around. I get up. I go out there. She goes, hey, what can I get you? And I said, you got some coffee? She said, I thought you'd be asleep still. He said, no, I'm good. You got some coffee, please? Took my coffee and just hung out. But being there, and I got to go into a lot of talks and kind of learn the series of like how to deal with your emotions. And apparently I didn't learn much from it because I felt like a dickhead because I already knew what they were going to try to tell me, but it was just so nice to be away from everything. Every time I go into a class, they'd be like, hey, what do we do in this situation? I was like, well, I would do this. Or I should do this. You know, but I don't. And that's my problem. It was that I was like, I don't do that. And my meds were so screwed up that it just completely screwed my head up. But, you know, I have been there. You know, now I've gotten to do a lot of stuff, and I'm vulnerable enough to tell you guys that I have problems, and I do deal with them, or I try to deal with them anyway. And that's the best thing we can do is be vulnerable to each other and to help people. And we're not going to be able to help people if we can't be vulnerable. So I hope just kind of getting that out there, letting people know it's okay. If you need help, get help. You know, and there was one of those times when I think I didn't have you guys. You were dealing with your own stuff. TJ, I think we weren't really don't think we had talked much then, but, you know, it was just like a weird point in my life. And I finally just said, you know, I need help. And I reached out and got it. And I haven't had that kind of problem since.
I think,
you know, I'm thankful for it.
I think in that time frame that you're talking about where we were both going through some things at the same time, and we weren't really reaching out to each other because we didn't want to put that on each other, knowing that the other one was going through certain things in life, I think that helped me and you understand that, like, if we stay consistent with our communication and we stay consistent with check-ins, we stay consistent with talking, we stay consistent with like updating about what's going on in our lives, it's helped us to maintain a balance with each other, to understand, like, I know when I text you and I say what's going on, depending on the response you give me, like, I know if you're having a rough day, I know if you're having a normal day, I know if your day at work is stupid, and I know, like, if you're actually in a good mood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly.
And I get that, and I get that off of whatever you reply back in a text message, and that's how well we've gotten to know each other. And I think that TJ's in on this too. Like, I know, like you said, like, I could text you guys in the morning and I could be like, hey, what's going on today? Like, let's jam. And like, I can tell what time of day it is by who replies to me. You know what I mean? Like I know, and I can pretty much sum up the type of day that each of you are having by like how you're going to respond.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, or how you do respond. But I think, like, I don't know, just for the past few weeks, like, I don't think my phone has been as busy as it has been, just with us in constant communication, going over all this stuff for this podcast, going over everything for, like, all the social medias, getting plans in place, setting up, like, calls so we can go over stuff together and talk about stuff. And that has been a game changer for me personally, because if I'm not consistently busy, if I'm not keeping myself occupied, that's where my problems and my troubles come in. Because if I start to let my mind like wander towards the things that like I normally over obsess about when I think about them, like, oh, I gotta take care of this bill, and this bill, and, you know, I got birthdays coming up, I got this going on, I gotta travel to here, I gotta travel to there, you know, once I start letting all that stuff weigh on me more than it should, and I overthink it, I get into a funk where it's like I start canceling plans, and I stop going to do things. I'll stop responding to text messages just because I don't want to be overwhelmed with anything. So I think as long as I stay busy, if I stay occupied, then, you know, it helps me to not get into my own head and downward spiral into that depressive state that, like, I know I'll get into if I'm not busy. You know what I mean? So, like, with you guys and doing this stuff, and and I love it, so don't think that I'm complaining, but like the nonstop, like, hey, can somebody figure this out? Hey, somebody jump on and do this. Hey, let's do this or let's do that. Like, it really helps keep me occupied so I don't get too into my own head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my thought process here clear. And sorry for the fart, if you heard the fart.
No, but I saw your wavelength move, so I know you did something.
But no, you can ask TJ. I'm on the same thing where I'm like, I've shot TJ, I think, like a handful of a dozen text messages, and I'm like, hey man, Gabe's pretty low today, man. What do we do? You know, because like, I'm like, shit, because I know how you are when you're having a bad day. And I'm just like, man, how do I fix this? Because that's what we do, right?
Right.
Like, we're all fixers. We're all alpha personalities, and we want to fix everything. But, you know, we can't always do that. And TJ is kind of like a silent but deadly assassin. Like, he just comes in clutch when you need him to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, secondly, since I guess I was trying to tee TJ up there to say something, but he didn't.
Well, I looked over at him, he was smiling like he just got done farting himself, so I figured I'd kick in there so there wasn't like a weird silence.
But no, secondly, so like you were saying, yeah, my phone's been super busy, and it's funny because like you said, you know, like I have to stay busy to some extent, but you know, like at work, I'm busy, and I'm like, doing my thing there. But even if I'm having a bad day, here, whether you guys text me and say, hey, I need you to do this, hey, how do we set this up? For me, personally, I'm like, hell yeah. Like, this is awesome, because this is something that I'm so excited to do. So, this is like, I get there and I'm like, oh, fucking today sucks balls. But I know at the end of the day, I can dive back into this and go ham on it and try to figure stuff out. I can figure something new out, like working on the audio and the editing and stuff. Like I get so excited about it, and it's something that I genuinely care about. So even if I'm having a crap day, I know I have something good to fall back on. Just because this isn't always fun, trying to figure out the legwork for it, it makes me happy because it's something I enjoy and I feel dedicated to, and I have so much passion for.
I think about like when you're talking about texting or whatever, and you can tell like how their day is going by their response and everything. I think another thing about it is recognizing that that's not their normal response. So that's not their, you know, happy response or however you want to call it, you know. So you need to realize when to start talking to them and, you know, be like, hey, man, like, you good? Everything all right? And then another thing on that note is, like, if there's people that I've noticed that would text me a lot that I haven't talked to in a couple of weeks or whatever, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and send them a text and just see what's going on. And sometimes that might be what they need, you know, might make the difference.
Right. No, that's 100%. And I mean, like, there's even in this group, like 9 times out of 10, like the group text message with us always starts off with, "How we feeling today?" You know what I mean? Like, you know, like it's more of like it starts off as a buddy check, but then it rolls into like business as usual. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is what I'm doing work on. Can somebody jump on and figure this out? Or, you know, I'm having a hard time doing this. Can somebody jump on and maybe try to figure it out? Let's have a FaceTime and walk through it to make sure we're all on the same page. Like,
yeah.
And I think that's key for a lot of people is that, like, occupying your time in a positive way is, for me, my number one way to combat and stay ahead of those anxieties and to stay ahead of that depression. And the way that I do that is with the two of you, with my kids, with music stuff that I got going on with music. So with doing all of that stuff, it's been completely time consuming to where I haven't had the time to get into my own head and worry about things. You know what I mean? And like today was one of the first days that I allowed to, like, I stepped away from all of that. Sorry, I got a barking dog. Hey. That I was allowed to, like, I wasn't not saying that I was allowed. It was the only time. The only time that I chose to step away, but it was for family stuff, so I was still occupied. Stand by.
And that's the joy of having dogs, which we all have. And I guess I'll kind of take this second. I'd thrown it out there that we're going to try to do like an artist of the week or, whatever. Try to highlight people every week. I want to kind of start that this week. And it won't start out with like a positive artist or someone that, had some giant, big art project or whatever. I just wanted to go ahead. One of our listeners had asked us to do a shout out for somebody that they lost that was very dear to them. So, Christy, we are going to shout out to Corey Joe Wall and just say that, she's in our thoughts and our prayers, and we're always thinking about you. And if you need anything, just reach out, shout out to us. Everyone else will be thinking of you. And we always hate seeing somebody lost so early in their life. So I wanted to get that out of the way and make sure that you know that we are listening to our listeners. This is a two-way street. You guys come to us, we're going to do it. So that being said, I'll let Gabe dive back into what he was talking about.
Yeah, man. That's a lost cause.
He has no idea what the hell he was talking about.
Dude, it's a lost cause. I am over 5 hours road fatigued, traveling this morning, traveling this evening, blowing my back out on a trampoline because I'm stupid. So
we all understand that.
So, yeah, I'm just here. I'm just here for it. You know what I mean? TJ,
right.
Real quick, bro.
Closing remarks.
Yeah, dude, hit us with some closing remarks. Hit me with your knowledge.
It's the same thing I always say. Just reach out and talk to somebody. You don't always have to touch them, but send somebody a text or a call or,
oh, shit.
Hit them up on Facebook and what have you. Send them a snatch chat, whatever it takes.
You can say snatch chat.
Oh my god. This has been great. I'm so happy we did this.
Oh, me too. God damn.
Sorry, dude. Continue your thought.
I don't.
That was it. Short and sweet.
Reach out, touch someone, and hit them up on Snatch Chat.
Yeah.
We got you.
Yeah, I don't think we can get any better than that, guys. So reach out, touch somebody, and hit them up on Snatch Chat, and we'll call it good. All right, guys. Thank you for listening in. Hit us up on the social medias. Snatch Chat. We don't have one yet, but we'll get a Snatch Chat here soon. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Continue liking that stuff, guys, as we go here. As you can see, Gabe is wearing his Never Broken t-shirt, and we're going to be getting those out into the world here soon. So make sure you're watching out for that. We'll get those out there. We're very excited about it. It's something that we've had to work here for several years, just trying to get the logistics lined out. So thank you for listening in, guys. Please like, share, subscribe. If you would please give us a 5-star rating, that would be tremendous. It helps us stretch our listening group. I don't know what the hell Gabe's pointing at me for, but whatever. This is what we do. So, guys, listen in, have fun, make sure that you're reaching out and touching people. Oh, wait. Oh, God. Oh, God, guys. We're all technically retarded here. Thanks for listening in, guys. Until next week, we will hear from you guys later.
Touch me up,